For this challenge, we're looking again at things that you could do quite easily in Excel that maybe you have to do slightly differently in Tableau Prep. So our first job is to bring together all of these different reporting dates. They're sheets in an Excel file. So we're using a wildcard union here. So just bringing in any one of these tables into the field to create an input step, changing it from being a single table to a wildcard union, and just making sure that we hit the blue apply button, leaving it blank because we want to include all of those sheets. So we can have a look at that data. So we've got our orders, we've got when the sale happened, we've got our table names, which are going to be our reporting dates, and then we've just got a file path here, which we can straight away get rid of really. But if we take a look, for example, you'll see we have one row for A because that order was ordered on the 29th of December and it was fulfilled that reporting week, so we don't have any extra lines. Whereas for B, for example, it was ordered the 31st of December and then it appears in each of those following weeks because it's yet to be fulfilled. Okay, so first things first, we want to change those table names into a reporting date. And the great thing about Tableau Prep is that it's quite good at recognizing, consistent date formats. So we've always got the year, then the month, and then the day. So just changing the data type here to be a date means that it straight away converts itself into a date for us. So we don't have to worry about writing any formulas, which is definitely one of the things that I love about Tableau Prep. According to the challenge, our next step is to work out the min and max reporting date that each order appears. So we're going to use LODs for that. So if I just show you pop out the LOD configuration window there, I'm just grouping by the order, computing it, so using the reporting date, doing the min, and then similarly doing the max as well, and just renaming it here. Then our challenge tells us that we need to work out for our max date a week after that. And that is the line that we want to be in our data to say that the order's been fulfilled. So we go ahead and we just add on 7 days. So I'm wrapping that date add function in a date function so that it doesn't return a date time because we have no time elements to our data at the moment, so it wouldn't really make sense to have a date time in there. So we're just doing a date add. The day part is day, 7 days, and using the max date field there. Just giving it a very logical name so that I keep track of it and remember what it's called. Now comes the tricky part where we're wanting to, if we look at, say, B, for example, we can see that we've got kind of the same information repeated on every single line there. So it's going to make that quite difficult to do that classification. I will admit that when I first did this challenge, I just tried to write an if statement to say, okay, if the minimum date is equal to the reporting date, that's when it's a new order. If the max date plus 1 week, if that's equal to the reporting date, then it's fulfilled. Otherwise, it's unfulfilled. And that just led to me never having any fulfilled orders because I haven't got that extra row in there yet. So how do we get that extra row? We're going to use a little bit of scaffolding. So I'm grouping by my reporting date, and then I'm joining that back onto my data workflow. And I'm saying that we want to have the joining conditions where we have that max date plus 1 week is greater than or equal to the reporting date. So that's like our upper bound. And then we want to have our sale date is less than or equal to our reporting date so we don't go over, basically. So if I now click on B there, or I find it easier to keep track of A because that's only 1 week anyway that it appeared beforehand. So we take a look at this now, and we now have 2 reporting dates in there. We have it appearing for its actual, one where it was appearing anyway in the 1st of January, and then it also appears the next week, and we can apply that, add that row that says fulfilled to it. So yeah, now it's just time to write that if statement. So I'm just swapping around in this, my reporting date field got renamed to be reporting -1. So I just need to rejig that a little bit with some renaming. And then this is the if statement. So saying if the minimum date is equal to the reporting date, then that's a new order. If that max date plus 1 week is equal to the reporting date, then that's fulfilled. Otherwise, it's unfulfilled. and you'll notice that I still have 79 rows at the moment. So I'm just going to group by each of my 4 fields that I want to keep that are in the output, and then that gets me to 35 rows. And I can check my A, I've got my new order, I've got my fulfilled order, and so on and so forth. So hopefully that was an interesting challenge for you this week. I certainly thought it was. And we'll have one more challenge next week, which will be all about the Excel functions in Prep. So look out for that one. And thanks very much for watching.